I got a van. There's not much else to say except for thank you. This doesn't happen unless you guys are here supporting me, and I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff that comes from this. Let's go.
I know. I've spent the past 3 years saying there's no way I'm gonna get a van. But here we are. So first things first, I need to get a great thumbnail out of this video or this thing's going back. It's too expensive. I need millions and millions of views to help this thing pay for itself. Okay, I've got some ideas. What? What? How are the abs looking? Is the light right? I don't think the light's good.
Hey Google, stop. All right, so if everything went to plan, I had some kind of intro with my shirt off and I had the van, but it's not guaranteed. Waking up right now, a lot of stuff has to fall into place.
Okay, so this is not 100% by any means. I'm pretty nervous right now. This is all last minute goofiness. So I've got the money. I'm gonna get on a plane from Sacramento to Portland. I booked it last night. Yesterday, I tried to call the people at the car dealership and I didn't get a hold of anyone. So it's possible the van has been sold, but I talked to them on Saturday. So unless somebody bought it after that phone call Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, it's possible. It's very possible because the configuration of the van that I got, there's not many of them. There's like one in Minnesota, there's one in Colorado, and there's one in Oregon. So there's definitely a little sense of urgency here. The thing with cars and vans, and if you don't get what you want, it means you have to order it from the factory, and that takes, 5 or 6 months. All right, thanks, Dad. Okay, it's airport time, and my dad actually worked on this airport, this terminal, back in the day. We were just coming in and he's like, oh, I built that. He really did. Okay, so we're in. Almost already had a disaster because I booked this last night, but I had stuff going on, so I had everything up on the computer. Then I come back to the computer a few hours later and I ended up booking the wrong day. But when you show up to the airport, and they'll change it for you for a fee, so we're good. All right, we've made it to Portland, and I thought it was gonna be 80 degrees. 2 tickets, hold that train. All right, we have made it to the big city, the city of roses, Portland, and I'm actually with my mom. The first time ever on camera. She'll be camera shy, but she's along for the ride. And yeah, so we're gonna get some lunch. I looked up some stuff on Google Maps, and then we gotta get to the car dealership. I've never seen that in all of my travels. Oh yeah, we're in the right place. Best sandwiches in all of Portland.
Cuban, really good.
Yes, that was great. Ever since I was in Florida with Mr. Tonka and I tried a Cuban sandwich, I've loved the Cuban sandwiches from then on. Where's Mom?
If we're in Portland, we gotta go to Voodoo Donut. Look at this, it's the only donut place with outdoor seating. Are we gonna have to wait in line?
All right, I got the Portland cream. What'd you get, Mom?
I got the Homer.
It's like the Simpsons donut. Okay, we've just taken the train an hour to the last stop in Hillsborough, and we're fully committed now. We're in it. If this doesn't work out, we've got a long ass day ahead of us of trying to figure it out. But it's gonna work. That van is waiting for me, I know it. Here we go. Nothing better than going to the car lot and dealing with the car salesman. Nothing just makes you feel good inside, right? Ugh.
Dun dun dun. There it is. Needs a bit of a wash.
According to Edmunds.com, it's been sitting on the lot for 222 days, so they want to get rid of it. We did it. It's the van. That was not a big deal at all. The people at Dick's Country, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Chrysler were actually really, really cool. I had no bad feelings whatsoever. Normally, you go into the car dealership, you hate it, it's the worst. That was easy, super easy. BKXC LLC now owns
the van. I don't know the van. The company owns the van. The company's bigger than me. It's out of my control now. Okay, I'm gonna give you a rundown on the van and all the specs, but first, we're heading off to the Roll-Off Farm, which you may know from Little People, Big World. My mom's a big fan, and we just happen to be in town, so we're gonna go see it. And up here we got our campground area. Well, what'd you think, Mom?
Great.
That was
Great
super
tour.
cool. And so Zach from the show gave us the tour, and it's just really cool to see because, you know, we're kind of kindred celebrity spirits, right? Like, I get people that come up to me and get a total blast out of talking. I love meeting all you guys. And then to see my mom get such a blast of talking to Zach and seeing all the different little pieces of the compound out here is very, very cool. Like, this was totally worth it. And if you're a fan of the show and you happen to be out here, it's totally worth it. It was cool. Okay, so let's cut to the chase here. We're driving, we're back on the road, I-5. We're through this smoky area right now in Oregon. This is a 2019 Ram ProMaster 2500 with the 136-inch wheelbase, which is the shorter one, in granite, gray, crystal, metallic. I just didn't want the white one. I wanted the gray one. I think it looks cool. It's got windows in the back and one window on the side on the slider door, and it has cruise control. Those were all the deal breaker things for me. Otherwise, I didn't really care about many of the other options, but cruise control, windows, gray, and I had to go to Oregon to find this. There was only maybe 2 or 3 cars like this in the country. There was a few in Maine, there was one in like Minnesota, and one in Colorado Springs. But all of them had weird other options that jacked the price up really high. So I'm happy with this, and next I will discuss why I caved and actually went with the van and did everything. But let's do a little more driving first. Okay, so now for a nice long ramble about vans. I always thought having a van would be a super sweet idea, but there was always things that I would worry about that kept me from pulling the trigger. Number one is that this thing would be sitting out in front of my house when I'm not around, or when I am around. And the idea of just this big old thing in my driveway all the time. I live in an okay neighborhood, but it's not a great city. There's definitely crime, there's definitely break-ins, and I feel like having this kind of thing out in front of your house all the time is just, it's an invitation to be like, hey, there's gotta be something in here. So I've always worried about that. And something this big is not gonna fit in my garage to hide away. So I was always on the fence, like, okay, maybe I could get the smaller thing and park that inside my garage and it'll fit and I'll be like, peace of mind. I'll feel good about it. So I just said, screw it. And if I'm gonna be away for long periods of time, I'll just go park it at my mom and dad's house. Safer neighborhood, hopefully, and just leave it there. And that's what I'm about to do when I'm gonna go out on all this next traveling. So you guys are gonna see some videos from Whistler, and then I'm gonna go to Mendocino and New York, and eventually Spain. So there's a lot coming where I'm gonna be away from home, not inside the van. And hopefully the van will be safe and sound at my mom and dad's house. And cost, of course, cost is always pretty much the biggest factor. Even though I feel like I could make it work, I always thought, okay, I would trade in the RAV4, I'd get some money back for that, and then buy another vehicle, because I didn't want to have 2 vehicles and 2 insurance and all that. But I said, screw it, let's just have 2 vehicles, let's have 2 insurance, let's do the whole thing and make it happen. And one of the things that kind of helps is that, like I said earlier, the BKXC LLC is the owner of this van, so hopefully tax-wise and insurance-wise and everything, it's a commercial vehicle, and hopefully that will help. It might hurt it, who knows? We will find that out very soon. I didn't want to let all these negative things stop me from doing this, because the pros outweigh. The pros of getting out on the road and seeing all these smaller places throughout the United States and Canada, maybe even Mexico, anywhere I could drive to, the pros outweigh the cons. There are all these little one-stop places that I've heard about that I wouldn't be able to spend a week and get a week's worth of riding out of if I flew in and then coordinated everything like I normally do for a lot of my trips. But if I'm passing through,
boom, I could shoot over here, I could shoot over there, and get a great one day out of a great place and do it justice and tell you guys about it without having to be like, oh my God, it's not good enough for a week, so how am I gonna justify staying in a hotel and flying and all that? So now I can roam to wherever the heck I want, and I think I'm gonna be able to put out better videos because of it. And really, the whole goal for everything I do is to make better videos for you guys. That's the whole goal. To entertain, to inform, to bring you guys along and inspire you to get out on your bike. That's the entire basis of this. The better videos I make, the better I do. The more successful this is, the more people it reaches, and the more we can get the ball rolling to get people on the bike. So I think that's a pretty good justification. I'm excited. I am actually really excited about this. Obviously, me and my dad are gonna do some work, we're gonna do some projects, but we're not gonna do the whole shebang. One of the reasons I got this van was because Ian over at Wayfarer Vans has a kit ready to go. He's got a bed and a kitchen galley and a floor and the panels for everything. And that was a huge factor, just knowing that I could get a plug and play kit and get this thing like 75% of the way done in a day. It was very, very much like weighing on me because I didn't want to spend a year building out a van, and I'd rather get it done and do some projects and have some fun, but trying to build it all and cut all the wood or whatever the heck we would have ended up doing, it would have been a tough task. The other reason I got this van is because it's basically the same thing that Alexander, the single track sampler, got, and he spent years thinking about researching vans. So if it was good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Okay, I'm about to wrap this up, but what I want to hear is all of your shoulda, coulda, wouldas in the comments. I should have done this. If I would have done it, I would have done this. Oh, you could have done that. Let me have it. I want it with both barrels, right in my face. Let me know. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a little while until you see another van video, but rest assured, we will be working. I'm gonna leave my dad to do some projects while I'm out traveling. He's gonna capture some GoPro footage and stuff. So thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the trail. In the trail? Oh,